So you're looking to get Xaku, the frame that was forged from Lost Warframe, but also pretty good at crate clearing in Warframe. I'm Tipsy, and today we'll be going over how to farm Xaku and how to get the resources needed to craft it. So first, to get the Xaku main blueprint, you will have to complete the Heart of Deimos quest. This quest will reward you with the Xaku main blueprint part, which is needed to craft Xaku. You can find the mission at the codex table and is available after completing the Mars Junction. But do keep in mind that this is not the only quest you actually have to complete to gain access to all the things needed to craft Xaku. Later on you will have to have completed the Vox Solaris quest, but also the War Within quest. These missions can be done later as they are required to actually farm for the materials needed to craft Xaku. And if you're looking to farm a second Xaku, you can buy the main blueprint from the chapel on Samaris in a relay right here. This will cost you 50,000 standing and you can just buy it. So once you have obtained your Xaku main part blueprint, you are now ready to begin farming for Xaku's parts. These parts can be found in the necrolist by doing bounties at Mother. So just go to the necrolist and fast travel to Mother and then go into your bounties and you will be able to see which part the different bounties drops. Each part is an uncommon drop, and in bounties you will encounter a few stages, and each stage has a chance to reward you either common, uncommon or a rare drop. And if you also do the bonus objective in each stage, you will also receive an extra drop at the end of the bounty. So every stage you complete has a chance to drop the Xaku blueprint part in the bounty, and you just have to run the bounties till you have all 3 Xaku pieces. And to keep it a little bit more simple, you can also start bounties from the Cambion Drift, so you can just keep doing bounties after bounties if you want to. So best of luck with getting your Xaku parts right here, because you might get really unlucky or you might get really lucky. It really depends on the RNG of getting the parts. Once you have obtained all 3 Xaku parts, you are now ready to actually gather up the resources needed to craft Xaku. Here we'll be going over where to actually find the resources needed to craft Xaku. But do keep in mind, to obtain some of the resources you will need to complete the Vox Solaris and the War Within quest. And you will also have to be rank 2 with the Entrati family to buy a certain blueprint. You can use the agenda right here or the timestamps down in the description to find the resource you are looking for. We're gonna start off with the Cassis, as this has one of the resources that are a little bit more complicated to actually obtain. The Gyromag Systems. Normally you farm these off a boss called Prophet Taker, but that requires you to be max rank with the Solaris United. So if you do have access to farm Prophet Taker, just go and farm the bounties for the Gyromag Systems this way, as it is a common drop in these bounties. But how do you then get Gyromag Systems without being rank 5 with Solaris United? For that we will have to head to Little Dog and Fortuna. You can talk to her while you're in your operator form, so just keep that in mind. And this is the place where you buy things for the faction Vox Solaris. Once you are actually rank 1 with the Vox Solaris, you are able to buy the Gyromag Systems for 1k standing each. So if you're not rank 5 with Solaris United, this is the way to do it, as this is probably quicker than farming all the way to rank 5. If you're close to rank 5, I recommend just getting to rank 5 with Solaris United. But to actually rank up your standing with Vox Solaris, you will need to farm something called a Tororid. These Toroids comes in 3 different colors and can be found in certain areas in Orb Valleys by just killing enemies. They do have a fairly low drop chance, so just keep in mind that this can be very heavy on RNG. So once you head into Orb Valleys, you can find the map here, and you will be able to find the 3 different spots where you can actually find the Toroids. So first, as you can see here, is the green Vega Toroids, which can be found in the spaceport. The next is the red Calda Toroids, which can be found in enrichment labs. And lastly, you will be able to find the yellow Solar Toroids, which can be found in the Temple of Prophet. And as the enemies has a fairly low rate of actually dropping these, if you do have access to a frame that can help with drop rates like Necros, Korra, Hydroid, I recommend using them here. Also remember to set your party settings to solo so you can pause the game and also play at your own pace. So once you get to one of these 3 areas, you will have to just kill enemies, but before going all out and killing all the enemies, you will have to let some of the crewmen survive for a little bit. Reason for that is the crewman can actually put down sticks, which will call in even more enemies, so you basically want to just wait a little bit until they have put down a few sticks around, as this will increase the enemy's respawn rate. So to actually rank up the Vox Solaris, you will have to farm at least 1 of each of the Toroids, and on top of that you will have to farm 5 extra to turn into standing, but also 5 extra on top of that to turn into standing to buy the Gyromag Systems. So in total here you will need 1 of each Toroid and then 10 extra just for standing. And again, just keep in mind that it is very heavy on the RNG. You can be farming for 20 minutes and maybe only get 3, but you also might get lucky and actually get 17 in the same amount of time. But this is the only way to actually get the Gyromag Systems if you are not rank 5 with the Solaris United. Once you're done with this, just head back to Little Dog and turn in your standing and actually rank up to rank 1. And then you can buy from her wares the Gyromag Systems, which you will need 5 of in total. And for the next resource we'll be going over is the Spinal core sections, which you'll need 3 of. We did go more in depth with different ways of actually obtaining these in the last Necromech video I made, but we're gonna go over a quick and easy way to just obtain them quickly without fishing or anything like that. So basically we are just gonna go casket hunting in the Cambion Drifts, so you just wanna head into the Cambion Drift on solo mode and destroy caskets around the origin structures. As you can see here on the map, you will be able to find some of the origin structures around these areas here. While you're destroying these crates you can find around, I would also recommend actually looking into getting the Lucent Teroglobes, because these are farmed in the exact same place. So the Lucent Teroglobes drops from something called the Pacific Outcrop, and these are just little spiky spots you can find around the same areas. And here you will actually need 50 for the cases and then 45 for the neuropics, so just keep in mind to do this while you're actually farming for the Spinal core sections. So that's pretty simple, just fly around Cambion Drift and actually find these spots and destroy the crates and the Pacific outdrops, and you should get this in no time. And next up is the 50 Venerdo Alloy, which is a crafted resource that requires you to have the blueprint unlocked first. So first, to unlock the blueprint you will have to head to Fortuna and talk with Smokefinger, as this is the guy that actually sells the Venerdo Alloy blueprint. They sell for around 2k standing and you'll just have to buy it. Once you have the blueprint, then you can actually begin crafting it, but it does require some resources to craft. So you will need 60 Venerol, which can be found in Up Valleys by actually mining the red veins you can find around the area. But also keep in mind you will need 60 extra Venerol when you actually have the crafting for the neuropics. So in total you will need 120 Venerol. Then you will need around 900 Rubedo, which can be found in normal missions from both enemies but also deposits in these locations. You can find it in Earth, Lua, Pluto, Phobos, Europa, Sedna and the Void. So just doing animations in these areas should actually reward you with some Rubedo. The next item is called Gallium, and this can be dropped from both enemies and deposits and can be normally found on Mars and Uranus. But I do recommend doing the war mission on Mars, as Lich Krill actually has a higher chance of dropping this Gallium when you kill him. It can also be found in the mission, so just look around. So for the next is the neural sensors, and here you basically want to head to Jupiter and actually do a survival mission called Chimera. And then you want to head into this mission with one of your loot frames if you have one, because this will highly increase your yields of actually getting neural sensors. As you can see here, it took me around 5 minutes to actually get 5 neural sensors by just playing with a Necros in this mission. And if you are 4 people in the mission, you will have even more loot, as the more enemies spawn as you are more people. And next, for the 60 Thaumic Distillate, you will need first to get the blueprint, just like the Venerdo Alloy, but this time you will have to be rank 2 with the Entradi family to actually acquire the blueprint from Otak, who you can find right here in the necrolist. Just under his wares you can find his blueprints for sale, but if you are not rank 2 with the Entradi, you will need 22,000 standing first. And then you will also have to get a father token and a daughter token, which can be obtained by turning in resources at the persons. Then you will have to buy 2 blueprints for the Craritino plates and gauntlets, and that means you have everything now to actually rank up the family to rank 2. And then just go buy the Thaumic Distillate and you're ready to actually begin farming for the resources needed to craft this resource. The first thing you will have to do is head into the Cambion Drift to actually mine yellow veins for around 60 Thaumica. But keep in mind this is a rare resource, so if you are having trouble I would recommend doing the upper list you can find around the Cambion Drift, and these are possible to drop this. Next up, you're gonna need the 60 Venerol, which mentioned before. You can find these by mining red veins in Up Valleys, but you will need 60 of these too here. Then you will also need 12 Gallium, which can be found in normal missions from both enemies and deposits on Mars and Uranus. And lastly, you will need the 45 Lucent Teroglobe, which we also went over before, so just head to the Cambion Drift, find the origin structures and the specific outdrops and destroy those. When you have gathered all the resources here, you can then begin crafting your 60 Thaumic Distillate. And next up, you will need 20 Sharrac Teeth, which you can find, and this is a resource that is acquired through fishing sharks in saltwater fish around the coastline of Cetus. So if you haven't fished before, you will have to go to Cetus and find the fisher called High Luck. You can buy yourself a fishing spear from her and either get the Lanzo or the 2-lock spear, because these are needed to actually catch the sharks. I also highly recommend getting the Luminous Dye, but also getting the Twilight Bait. This will highly help you in the spawns of actually getting them and also catching the fish. Then just equip your fishing spear to your gear wheel and you're ready to actually begin fishing. Then you want to head out to the open world of the plains of Eidolon and just head out to any area with salt water. So basically any place at the coastline, I recommend the left side of the map. Then pull out your fishing spear, throw in your twilight bait and the luminous dye and just begin fishing. Then sit back, relax and try and fish up 20 of these Sharrac fish because you will need 20 as each of them cut up only drops 1 teeth. So get 20 fish and once that is done you can just head back to High Log and cut up your fish and that should drop you your Sharrac Teeth. And for the last resource also found in the plains of Eidolon is the 40 Esher Devar you need to craft for the Neuropics. This is also a resource blueprint you'll have to buy first, so you will have to head to Old Man Zombat in Cetus and buy his blueprint for 2,500 standing. To craft the blueprint you will need a resource called Devar, which can be found by mining blue veins in the plains of Eidolon, so just head back into the plains and look for blue veins to mine. You will need a total amount of 40 Devar to actually craft what is needed. And next up is the Xaku system blueprint. While you're still on Earth, you can get an item called the Breath of the Eidolon, which you need 10 of, and these can be gotten by doing bounties at Khonsu. So what you want to do is just head to Earth, Cetus, and talk with Khonsu and right click the bounties until you find a bounty that actually rewards the Breath of the Eidolon. These are a normal common reward, so it shouldn't take too long to get it as each state has a chance of actually rewarding it. And then the last 3 resources needed for the systems is all gonna be found in the Cambion Drift. First you will need 5-star intelligence, which can be found in the isolation vaults, but also as a reward from completing the ISO vaults. Also keep in mind that the 35 Pustulite and also the 60 Ganglion can also be found by doing this, as these are a normal open world resource in the Cambion Drift and just spawns all over the place. So you will be doing ISO vaults and looking out for the Psi Intelligence, which spawns around the area in the Oricon structures underground. But also hoping to get it to drop from the bounty as well, as this will just make it way faster. Keep in mind that the Scintillant is kind of hard to find sometimes, and also sometimes they actually do not even spawn down there, so you just want to run around, look for it, and then reset if you don't find it. And also while doing this, remember to be on the lookout for the Pustulite and also the Ganglion, as these are just plants that spawn around the area. This might take a little bit of time, so just keep at it, but you will also get some interesting rewards from just doing the vault if that is something you want to do. With everything done now, you should have all the resources needed to actually craft Xaku, the Warframe. Remember, every part of Xaku is gonna take 12 hours to craft, and then the main blueprint will take 72 hours after that. And now you are basically the proud owner of Xaku, which is basically one of the best crate farmers in the game. But that's basically it, so if you found this video helpful, feel free to like and subscribe, as I will keep uploading even more guides on the Warframe game to make the new player experience even better. Also let me know if there's anything in particular you are looking for or anything I could make a guide on. That would be very helpful. Also, if you're looking for a clan in Warframe, we do have the community and we are looking for members, so just feel free to leave your in-game name or join the Discord and actually join the clan that way. So just leave your in-game name and I should be able to send you an invite. So join the Discord, like, subscribe, all of that, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.